Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading this is part 2 for the week of April 18th, and this is part 1 right here. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, it is linked up in the description down below. But Taurus, let's see here. With that, be insightful and established. That card was about being present. You have this safe and surrounded by love. It says, keep your heart open and know you are being protected. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see, understand what is going on around you. I mean, literally we talked about this in the first reading. So, I feel like you are protected from any tower moments or anything that could be happening at this time, especially with that tower in the middle. And you even have that eagle card, which says triumph over obstacles. With the lovers, you have the King of Swords. Here's the thing, is I'm telling you right now, for the second time in your readings, that the King of Swords is history. And I feel for a lot of you, that, again, I feel like the reading is saying just be in the moment. Remember that first card you have there is about just being present, because there was something, I was getting something in the first reading that we talked about where it's almost like you could be thinking that a past situation is or like a new situation is going to be like the past when it isn't. I also feel like you have the opportunity to change a situation where it's like, yeah, maybe there are things that could make a current situation similar to a past situation, but I also feel like there are things, Eight of Pentacles, which we talked about in your first reading, that could make a new situation way, way better than the past. And that's what this reading, I really feel, very simple. I feel like that's what it's all about. With the Four of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. So I feel like you're ready for something new. Sometimes I just feel with the Page of Wands that it's really just like having a desire for refreshing energy, just wanting things to be different, right? With the Four of Swords, like I've said a million times in the past, I think sometimes we create tower moments on purpose, and not in a bad way, like in a good way. Like we are just sick of the status quo. We are sick of things being the same over and over and over again. So we kind of make a change or make something happen. And I kind of get that feeling here. I don't really feel exactly like that, really, but I kind of get this feeling of making a change. I also feel like you're kind of just wanting this, like a fresh adventure. You're wanting something new with that Four of Swords. With the Hangman, you have the Four of Cups here. The Four of Cups is like waiting for the environment to be perfect, which it never will be, especially with the Hangman. That's what I'm getting here. That's not accurate tarot, by the way. That's Chris's crappy tarot, as I love saying. But with the Hangman and the Four of Cups together, it's like I just feel like the Hangman, it's like he's waiting. I kind of feel like that's your energy, waiting for the things to be absolutely perfect, waiting for the perfect moment to do something when it never will be perfect. Here's the thing. You have that mouse card at the end, which is like a billion little excuses, right? And I'm not saying you're making excuses, but sometimes I think we do that where like things aren't perfect, and so we don't want to do something. It's like, I touch my face with resin, right? People are probably wondering why I have this red mark right here and the side of my nose is red. Is because I was messing with this chemical resin, and I touched my face, right? After I was messing around with it, and here's the result. And it's like, I didn't really want to do videos because I have this like ridiculous red mark on my face. So, but I'm doing it anyway, right? So what I'm saying here is, this is very similar. I feel like there could be little situations going on in your life that could make you not want to do something, but does it really matter? I would say probably not. So, I would just get started. I don't think things are ever going to be perfect for you to, get started on a new project, to start something different, right? With the Three of Cups, you have two cards here. You have this Firefly card, and you have the Queen of Cups. The Firefly card is about kind of like inspiration and following your inspirations. And we've been talking about this quite a bit. With all the energy in Aquarius, it could be a very inspiring time where you just feel inspired to do things differently, to try new things, pretty much any of that stuff. And the Queen of Cups is a card of like nurturing energy. And so I feel like you need to nurture anything that kind of stands out at you, anything that is inspiring to you as well. I would do it. I think it's one of those times where, we can be very excited about an idea. And I think we need to maintain that excitement. We need to kind of feed that fire, right? Especially if you're excited about a project, Eight of Pentacles, and then you need to get to work. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. So basically the universe just saying, I meant what I said. Whenever a card repeats itself like this, I just feel it's confirmation, basically. With the Tower, you have the Queen of Wands again. Very important that you are bold and assertive. Remember, in your first reading, I'm pretty sure I'm going to title it like Fortune Favors the Bold, because I really feel your first reading was saying, like, there could be a lot of things that are going on around you that could maybe prevent you from doing things that you want. But I feel like you need to be bold and assertive. I'm a big fan of being a trailblazer right now, kind of with some. I think there are some major risks involved, is what I would say to you. Like, to me, it's a very weird time. I think that astrologically, there are a lot of benefits in being a trailblazer, doing something, being an innovator, doing things that have never been done before in love, money, business, spirituality, health, everything. But there's also a lot of risk. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh, it's without risk. But I think people who are trailblazers, who are willing to try new things, are going to be very successful at this time. I would say that we should diversify. It's like, I almost look at life as like investing right now. And again, this is not financial advice, YouTube police, right? But what I would say is, it's like me personally, not to talk about myself, but there are like some little risks that I'm taking in multiple areas of my life, but I'm only giving 10% here, 10% here. I'm not going like 100% in on one risk, and I know that's like kind of a very general statement, but that's how I look at it. So it's like in business, it's like there are a couple different risks I'm taking, right? And I'm not giving it 100%. I'm just seeing kind of what works best. And what I would say here is, like, innovators always get, there's a saying that innovators get the most arrows in their back. Like, if you're the first person to do something, you're going to get a lot of arrows in your back. So it's like there's a chance that you could get hurt. And I kind of get that energy for you here with the Queen of Wands in the Tower. It's like if you're the first to do something, and you might not be the first, you just might be one of the first to do something, it could be a risk. But I feel like it'll be worth it, and I would be bold and assertive to do it. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. For like a lot of waiting energy in your reading is what I would say to you. So I do feel like it's time to get moving clearly, especially with that Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, again, sometimes I look at Eight of Pentacles as one foot in front of the other. He's just doing the work that's in front of him. He is just like, he knows what he's doing. It's a card of mastery. He's mastering a craft, and he's just one foot in front of the other. He's just doing the work, and he's paying attention to what he's doing as well. He's doing it to a high degree of accuracy, and that's what I'd be paying attention to here. With the Eagle and the Mice, you have the Dark Man. It says dealings with relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. And you have the Cat. It says a two-faced friend. So I would be careful if you're dealing with any two-faced people in your life. I don't attach gender to the cards in these general readings because it's a general reading. So I'd be careful of that. But you do have this discord among friends or family card. So again, I'd be very careful. To me, this is just basic advice that we should all be following this year because of Mars retrograde. Even though it's not till the end of the year, as I always say, to me, Mars retrograde dominates the whole year. And I shouldn't say it dominates it, but we should be careful the entire year. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Boom. Exactly what I was talking about in your first reading. I knew the Temperance card was going to come up because that Ten of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, it literally is taking, it's like, that to me is the difference between, it's like you could take two people, right, and give them both 20 hours to work on a YouTube channel, for example, right? You could take a brand new person, and then you could take someone famous like David Dobrik or something like that. It's like, give both of them 20 hours to create a video. It's like David Dobrik is going to smash the person who is just starting out. Why? Because they're both given the same amount of time, but David, he knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly what to work on. It's working smarter, not harder, right? Ten of Wands, working hard. Eight of Pentacles, working hard but smart. So, that's the Temperance card. Temperance is turning water into wine. It is alchemy. It is turning a negative into a positive, like all those things. And that is what your reading is talking about. I feel like you need to do some research in any area of your life that you're trying to improve, anything that you want to go well as well. And I would be saying, what is the work that works, right? Not just throw stuff at the wall, right? I do feel there is a need to focus here. Like we talked about in the first reading, you are going to be very successful if you do this, but it's going to require work, of course. With the Sun, here you go. You have the Empress card, so you showing up in a position of power and strength. A lot of abundance coming in for you, and also the Sun and the Empress, definitely glow up vibes. I mean, the Empress is all about having a glow up, and The sun is also about having a glow up. It's going to require work, but she has that scepter that she's normally holding in her hand, and she is waving that scepter to grow the wheat that is in front of her. So I feel for a lot, it kind of like says, again, she knows what to do to get something to grow. And that's like the best way I can describe this reading. I don't think it's talking about love. I don't think it's talking about money. I think it's talking about everything in your life. It's like you're starting to do things on purpose, which is a good thing. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Fool. Yeah, I feel like the Seven of Cups to me is distraction. I feel like you have these moments where you feel good about something, and then you have moments where you feel kind of like challenged about something. But I would just focus on what's right in front of you. I'll give you an example, right? I'm starting this new podcast, and it's like sometimes I'll start thinking about it, and I start adding all these like extra things on it, right? I start thinking like, oh, I'll start this other channel, and I'll do this other thing, and I'll make sure to promote it in this way, and it's like I start to get overwhelmed when I think about it like that. And so what I've been trying to get my brain to do is say, no, just do the podcast, right? Just get it started. And I kind of get that feeling for you here, where if you're starting anything, a new relationship, a new business, whatever, you might be thinking about starting a relationship and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to marry this person and this is going to happen. We're going to have children and like blah, 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 right? I think it's just creating too much Seven of Cups, too much confusion, too much stuff. And then it's creating overwhelm. That Fool to me is just saying, jump right in. Get started, but just focus on what's right in front of you. That's going to be the most successful thing for you to do. Let's see. Yeah, you have the Devil. This actually came up in reverse, the Devil, so that could be a good thing. Could also be you dealing with a Capricorn as well. So there could be a Capricorn coming in for you. I do feel like you are removing toxic energy from your life in general. Yeah, you have the Ace of Cups. Definitely a love offer could be coming in for you. The Ace of Cups lately, I've just been feeling is more like whatever causes your heart to overflow. The Ace of Cups is like your heart. It's like the things in life that get you excited. It's the things in life that get you motivated, that you want to do. And you have the Lovers, so definitely could be love. It could be a Capricorn coming in for you. It could be a person who has a lot of Capricorn in their chart. You start and end with the Lovers, so definitely stepping off on a new path. Very simple reading is what I'm going to say to you. Again, I would do your research. Anything that you're wanting to be successful, it's like, are you just doing things just to do them, or are you doing like focused activities that you know work? And what I would say to you is like, let's just use the YouTube example. There are like a million things that go into having a successful YouTube video, right? So whatever you're doing, I think there could be a lot that goes into being successful. Eight of Pentacles is one thing at a time. Like maybe you just work on the intro and you just work on getting your intros better. Then maybe you work on the thumbnail, right? And I'm giving you this, I'm speaking about YouTube, but this could be any area of your life. It could be a relationship. It's like maybe you always get into a relationship and you reach, 6 months or something like that and the romance dies. It's like, okay, before you get to 6 months, it's like, what can you do to keep the romance alive, to keep it going, right? And yes, people always leave me comments when they're always like, well, the other person has to do something too. And I always tell that, whoever leaves that comment, right? I always tell that person, like, you need to either A, go to therapy, or number two, you need to do something to correct your feelings about relationships, because it's like you're already entering in to the relationship in conflict, right? Because you're already saying, well, they have to do something too. It's like, why not just like meet the person, see what happens, throw the ball to their side of the court, let them throw it back to you, nice little back and forth, right? Doesn't have to be a competition. There you go. Don't leave the comment, right? Number two, what I would say for the rest of you, this is just like saying, what can you do to keep it going the other side? I think you will be surprised that if you do something, the other person will do something as well. But it doesn't have to be a relationship. I feel like this could be anything. Very interesting reading. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it, Taurus. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.